Hello.
Hello. How's it going?
Good.
Nick, we're here, season 2, episode 41.
Woo.
I know. It's going to
Already.
be season 3 pretty soon.
Season 3 is coming up.
Crazy. Who knows what season 3 will entail?
Yeah.
What we've got in store, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we've got some awesome guests today. I'm super excited to chat with them. Before we do that, though, let's have our little lady do her intro, okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
In the know in the 920.
There it is.
There it is.
Mm-hmm. Do you think we should change that, like, up for season 3, the jingle, or do you think it should always stay the same jingle?
Ooh. We could put that to a vote from our viewer.
I know. Our viewer,
Yeah.
Mom,
Yeah.
he's my brother as well as my employee, team member.
Yeah.
So we always
So we can ask Mom.
talk about Mom. Oh, by the way, speaking of Mom, shout out to Mom.
What did we get wrong last week?
Oh, yes. She always tells us when we do something or we state something incorrectly. Like, I'll be like, hey, Nick, do you remember growing up, blah, 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 or whatever, something. And then she'll message and she'll be like, actually, you guys, this is how it went down. And we're like, oh, okay, cool. But thank you, Mom, for watching our podcast. We love you. She did tell me last week.
Okay.
She goes, I just want to know that you got something else incorrect. And I was like, well, what is
boy.
that? And she said, I don't always correct you.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, she's like, sometimes I only correct you in my head. I don't tell you about it.
Oh, okay.
I was like, well, thank you, Mom. Thank you very
Well,
much.
This is a valid correction.
Good to know. Good to know. All right. Okay, so I am here. We are here.
We're here?
We're here with Curtis.
Yeah.
Do you go by Curtis?
Yep.
Okay, Curtis. Can you please tell me your last name? Say your last name because I don't want to kill it.
Vallier.
Vallier.
Yep.
That's what I was going to say, I promise. So Curtis, Vallier, and
Trish.
Trish. Are you also Vallier?
Yeah.
All right. So Curtis and Trish Vallier, Battlecorn Care Packages. Battlecorn Care Packages. I am going to learn all about. Are you going to be learning all about this for
I
the
think
first
I have
time?
a lot to learn today.
I do too, because I honestly, this is all new to me. And so I'm really excited to have you guys here. So tell us all about what you guys do. Tell us everything. Start from the beginning. How did this get started?
You go first.
Okay. So all of this started with us about 5 years ago when our daughter JC was diagnosed with a very rare form of brain cancer. And during the time that we were in the hospital, people would send her packages. They would send her mail, especially her classmates from school.
Sure.
And when we got that first package, you could tell what it did for her morale, what it did for her psyche. Just to, number one, for a kid to get something that has their name on it.
Right.
But two, in that moment that you're going through everything, to be able to take your mind off of it and have that distraction. So when we got back home, we decided this is something we want to do, and we want to give back to as many as we can
Sure.
in that same level. So we started Battlecorn Care Packages in our basement, laid out all over the floor with things and boxes. And when JC was home and not going through treatments and stuff, she would just get involved in it. And that's what
Sure.
she wanted to do. And it literally started also with us just scouring Facebook and Instagram, looking for families that we could send packages to. And unfortunately, we found a lot because it's not as rare as you would think that it is based
Right.
on what the media would tell you. And we then kind of morphed into a website and to, social media, just anything, we're Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, we're on everything. And, now we're close to sending 1,300 packages across the country.
Wow.
And well over $200,000 worth of impact to this community. But we've all done it in an effort to secure JC's legacy, because unfortunately in 2021 we lost her at the age of
I'm
8.
so sorry. At 8?
At 8.
Oh.
So she is forever 8 years old for us. But she is also our 100% inspiration, everything that we do. And the reason that this year we made a little bit of a change in the naming of our organization to Battlecorn Global, because we wanted to really encompass what we do every day is not just a local effort to the 920, but to the country and to the world, because
Sure.
we have not only reached out to every state through packages, but also 5 different countries. We travel, to DC multiple times a year, where we meet thousands of people that are
Wow.
all over. That just lets you know that this is not a local issue.
Sure.
This is a problem that faces the whole country. And so it's every single day, our mission is to hopefully change one kid's life, one child's life, one family's life. And if it's just through the care packages, which is our core, then the only payment that we ever get from that is messages like I received the other day from a mother that said that we truly brightened her son's day and made him forget about everything he was going through in that moment. And she just wanted to thank us over and over again. And that's our payment. That's our reward.
Sure.
And every single day, that's what we get up and do. And it's a mission of love and dedication, but it also is very difficult and very stressful, because the reason that we're doing it
Right.
is because of so much pain and loss, like families like ours.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you guys for doing what you're doing. And again, I'm really sorry for your loss. What year was that?
2021.
2021. Okay. Oh, I can't, as a mom, I can't even, ugh, it's just, yeah, it's unfathomable. But what you're doing is amazing. And I mean, I feel like it's morphed into, it's pretty big now.
It's so much
Right?
more than we ever thought it would ever be.
Is this like your full-time thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
I mean, we both have part-time jobs just
Sure.
to kind of get away from it a little
Yeah,
bit,
yeah.
because it can be immersing. But
Sure.
like I said, it started in our basement. It moved upstairs to another room, and now it's back into our entire basement.
Sure.
Essentially our headquarters.
Yeah.
Like he left a full-time job, good pay,
Sure.
to do this full-time.
Okay.
With supplementing with the part-time job.
Sure.
That
Wow.
It's a lot of, you can't take your money with you when you die, and this is, a lot of things are more important than how much paycheck you bring home.
Absolutely.
I was making very good money. It was a government job. It was full benefits and everything,
Sure.
but it wasn't as important as this mission, and I needed to be able to dedicate my time to that. And it was an unplanned shoulder surgery that left me home for a few months. It gave me
Sure.
that streamlined vision, saying,
Sure.
I can't go back. I've got to do this. And it's allowed us the opportunity, through things like this and through social media, to be able to travel, like I said, to DC and to Madison, and meet with as many people as we can to try to spread this message
Sure.
and try to make some kind of a difference.
Sure.
Because until we do that, until we have reached a pinnacle that in my mind I've set, I will always feel, unfortunately, because of what we have gone through, like a failure as a parent, because we couldn't save our daughter. And as a dad of girls, that's all we're supposed to do, is protect them from the world. And I feel like I couldn't do that. Securing her legacy through what we do is the most important thing for us.
Yeah. That's amazing. Well, you definitely have not failed. You're doing amazing things, but I understand what you're saying. I totally get that. So like what sorts of things, first of all, how do you get connected with the people, the families, and then like what sorts of fun things are you sending out?
The families find us now.
They find you.
And in the boxes, we always do blankets. We do coloring books, crayons.
Sure.
But we tailor them to their kids' likes and interests. And
Sure.
To the best of our ability.
Yeah. That's so cool. Like you said, kids love getting things too. Like getting a
100%.
delivery is so fun as a kid.
Well, when you're a kid, you don't get bills, so every piece of mail with your
I was
name on
gonna
it is
say,
awesome.
yeah, it's not like
Occupant.
what's in the
Yes.
mail today. Yeah. No, that's so great. Oh my goodness. What sorts of things, what kind of hurdles have you guys run into along the way?
So the biggest hurdle for us, honestly, is the topic. Pediatric cancer is not something that is fun to talk about, and it's not something that is really, in our opinion, as a family that's been through it, really covered by the media, the mass media, in a way that would shine the light that we want. Because unfortunately, we hear the word rare all too often, and it's not. Even around here, and that became apparent to us after our daughter had her Make-A-Wish, that through them we figured out that there were a dozen families within a 10-mile radius of our house that were Make-A-Wish recipients for this. It is a very unfortunate problem that happens way too often, and because of that word that is put out there, even by organizations that treat it, we get kind of left behind, because it's like, well, if it's so rare, we don't have to put enough money into it, we don't have to put that effort. And it's also, I think, a lot of times when, as an organization that runs 100% on donations, when we reach out to companies or corporations to be sponsors or partners with us, it's very easy for them to say no. And I don't think it's because they don't care. I think it's because if we don't support it, we don't have to think about it. And it's again, I don't think anybody's a bad person for it, but I think we get told a lot, our organization's giving priorities don't line up with your mission. And for me, I've always questioned it. And it actually makes me really angry, because I wonder, what about kids does not line up with the giving priority? Because they're the only future we have.
Exactly. That should come first.
And it doesn't matter if it's, like a company that builds trucks or a real estate, whatever. It doesn't matter what the level of business is or what it is. I think that kids are at the forefront of everything, because without them, you don't have families to sell houses to, right? You don't have kids that are going to go to college to then be those builders or the construction workers. And so our biggest hurdle is people not thinking it's a big problem, or that it can be, there's enough organizations that are doing it that we don't need to donate this way or that way. And the reality of it is that philanthropy really takes on the load of funding research and development and anything when it comes to this disease. It's not government assistance, it's not those types of things. It is people like us that are grinding every day to, we've held an event the last few years, and we raised $25,000 for that event. We donate it to research. We don't keep it for ourselves. When we could use that money for yearly expenses, we just grind through the year to get it done. And because
we're constantly fundraising.
I was just going to say, do you guys do
Constantly, always.
events and things?
Always do
So
something.
what sorts of things, what kinds of things have you guys done?
We've done painting events. We've done workout events.
we do a lot with like local businesses, and that helps with like local connections. If somebody we knew owned a gym or something.
Right.
But our big one is we do hold a gala every year.
Okay.
We've done it the last 4 years, different locations, and it's usually pretty good, but it's very hard to get support for it. Very hard to get support from even local businesses, which is it's sad to us, because I feel like we've been residents of Appleton for 14 years, and we've put everything into this.
Sure.
We've also lost everything, losing our daughter, and I feel like it's really hard to still make those connections, because a lot of people that live here grew up here, and they know. So when they're fundraising, like, okay, I know the owner of whatever company, and I can reach out to them anytime. I don't have that. That's us emailing and calling and hoping. And so yeah, we hold that gala every year. Next year we're actually hosting it in Texas.
Okay.
Because we have several other organizations and friends that are out there, and we're going to come together as a collaboration and make it an even more massive event.
That's cool.
And it's whatever we raise is going to go back into the community, and we haven't officially decided or announced what we're going to do with the money we raise, but it will be impactful, because all of our kids, 3 of the organizations that are going to be doing it out of the 4 have lost a child, and that's why we're doing it, because their legacies and their memories are way more important than anything else that we could even assume on a daily basis. And all this has done is given us an idea of what to do in our daily life. We get up, we gripe about being sick. I joke all the time that the man flu is a real thing. We're big babies, but when I watched our daughter go through everything, you will rarely ever see me complain about anything, because I look at it and say, what do I have to really complain about? These kids go through the worst things in their lives, and they smile, and they laugh, and they want to be involved in putting care packages together. She came home so sick, and she'd be like, do we have any packages to do?
Oh,
She just wanted something to do
Right.
to take her mind off of it.
right.
So on both ends of it, it will always be that.
Yeah. It's, it sucks that, because I always say that too. It's like the worst times of our lives really teach us that things aren't that bad in a lot of other ways, right? Like you said, like the small, I've been so whiny about the weather. I don't like winter. I love this area. I love the 920, but I don't like winter. And I would prefer to be in. I understand why people move south in the winter. I do. I get it. And maybe when I'm a little older, but right now the kids are in school, and that's not going to happen. And so I actually posted something on my Facebook the other day. It was this it was like a repost, but it said like, you can either embrace the snow and the cold, or you can like whine about it. But either way, there's still going to be snow and cold. And I was like, man, this is the reality, right? And again, it's like my problems, the things that I'm sitting here complaining about right now, are not bad compared to what other families and other people are going through. I totally get that. And I've been in those moments too in my life. We lost our grandmother this past year, and that was horrible watching her, get sicker and go through that and pass on. And, in those moments, again, it's kind of like you just realize like all this other noise and crap that's happening in the world is really not that important.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Ugh. What a legacy, though, that, it sounds like she left behind in the time that she was with. And now you guys are carrying that on and really like changing so many other people's lives and helping so many other people. Because you said like 1,300 packages went out this past.
Right around there, yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
that's so great.
It's pretty incredible because, everything we do now, we do get when we go to DC and things like that for, whether we're going for an event or something, we do kind of get recognized a little bit more with what we're doing, which is great. But at the same time, it means that we've had to interact with that many more families, and you see the crowd in DC getting bigger and bigger. And unfortunately, that means that more and more are being affected by this. And JC's legacy is really something that I think the one part that really secured it for me was at her funeral, and the pastor said that JC came to the gates of heaven and said, but I only had 8 years. And Jesus said, but look what you did with those 8 years. And that, I think, out of the whole, and I'll get emotional now, that whole thing, the whole funeral, everything, I don't think I cried the whole time. I think I was done. I don't think I had any left. But I think that's what broke me, but that's also what secured for me. Yeah, because people, I still can go back in my phone and look at text messages from people I have no idea who they are that messaged me and said that her story affected them, or they read it online or things like that. And yeah, that's because she's touched so many people just with being here those 8 years.
Yeah.
And more impact than maybe a lot of us will do in 80 or 90 years. And that says something.
It really does.
It says something about these kids. And I just, we miss her every day. But we also, we have 2 older daughters. One is 19, one is 17, and they carry on her memory too. Our 17-year-old is going into college next year to be a child life specialist because of her daughter, or her sister. And that's, and it's incredible because we watch the way that affects your life moving forward. We've all made changes in our lives, but we've never let her out of our mind. So well, and going back to what you just said and what the pastor said, it's quantity, right? Or it's quality over quantity.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to say. It's the quality that you put into your life, right? And making every day count. And that's something my kids even are on that path of like, they're 12 and 10. And that whole like, oh, it's Friday, it's going to be the weekend. And I'm like, you guys, you are way too young to be getting stuck in this, and I used to do it too for years. I'm very guilty of it, but I'm really trying to work myself out of that. Of we need to enjoy every day, right? It doesn't have to be if you're living just for the weekend, or if you're just rushing through everything to get to the next thing. It's like we have to enjoy and be happy with what we have right now.
Yep.
Right? Because nothing is guaranteed.
Right.
Nothing.
No.
So, yeah. Wow. That's really, you guys are doing amazing things. How can the community help? Do you have help from others besides, your own, each other and your family? Or how can people best help?
We have a very small board.
Okay.
We're I don't want to say we're constantly struggling, but we're constantly struggling.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a very small board, and we actually kind of like it that way because that means that as a collective we all understand what we need to do moving forward, and it works really well to bounce ideas off each other. We have titles simply for tax purposes.
Sure.
Otherwise, our titles are really irrelevant. We're all in it for the right reasons. But the reality of it is, like I said, we work 100% on donations. Everything that we get goes right back into the community. We don't take salaries. Everything is accounted for, and we have our website where we do events here and there. We'll do things like she said we were doing a painting event. We've done those. We've done workouts. We'll here and there we'll post those on the website. We also have like an Amazon list. So we have our website, which is Battlecorn.
Yeah, what's your website?
So it's battlecornglobal.org.
Battlecornglobal.org.
Yep.
Okay.
And on there you'll find everything. So you'll find if you go to support, you'll see where you can donate. You can see Amazon list. You'll see our current Christmas campaign that we have going on.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, this is perfect timing too for that. Everybody should get involved.
Yeah.
And it's it's one of those things where, like I said, everything we get is from the community, and it's difficult. We actually, I think we kind of thought maybe every year it would get a little bit easier because you're kind of making a name for yourself.
Right.
I feel like it's maybe actually gotten a little bit harder, and I realize the economy's up and down and all of that kind of stuff, but it's been really tough, and we're never going to give up. We're never going to stop doing what we're doing. We started this, like I said, in our basement with our own money, our own, whatever handful of people sent things on Amazon, and we did it that way. And then it, we're able to get one donation, and then it helps, and then you get a couple, and and you get some people that will steadily support you, but it's difficult. So everything is on our website. You'll find information about everything that we do, events that we either go to or are hosting. You'll also find a link on there to my podcast that I run as well.
You have a podcast. I love that. Oh my gosh.
I do.
He's probably been judging us this whole time. He's like, you guys, your podcast?
I didn't want to say anything.
No, he's not.
No, that's awesome that you have a podcast too. Very cool. Very cool.
It was done under the idea that I couldn't do it until I left my job that I left prior to doing all of this full time, because I simply didn't have the time, and she'd never see me if I was doing it. So now I do it, and I record. I do it all remote, so I record everything through people calling in.
Sure.
But it's called the Childhood Cancer Perspective.
Okay.
And it is families, organizations, medical professionals, anything like that come on and share their story.
Wow.
In a very, very conversational,
Sure.
non-interview-esque. I call it anti-social media, because you can say what you want without the worries of being taken down and things like that. And and the biggest way to explain that is I do have a father, and we actually just started doing a little bit of a second podcast, which we're kind of working on right now. But I joke because I had him on, he cursed, and then he apologized, and I edited his apology out of the podcast.
I love it.
And I left the rest in.
I love it.
Because I want you to be able to say
Yeah.
what you want to say.
Yeah.
And this, what we do really brings on a lot of emotions. And, we've also become, kind of a club of parents that it's okay for their kids every now and again that are going through this to say what they feel.
Yep.
And that includes, putting one finger up
Right.
to the camera. And
Yep.
that's okay, because I think that they've earned every single bit that they get when they want to say something.
Absolutely.
Let it
It's
out.
not fair.
And we'll be here until I kind of say that we're kind of the antithesis of a business. Like, we want to go out of business.
Sure.
We don't want to be doing this anymore because we want to have found
Sure.
the answers.
Right.
So that's
The cure.
That's our hope.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's so great. Okay, the podcast again is called The
Childhood Cancer Perspective.
Perspective. Childhood Cancer Perspective. I'm going to check that out.
Yep.
That's,
We just so Wednesday we'll post, so tomorrow actually will be the 100th episode that I've done.
that's awesome.
It's really been a really cool thing because I've got to meet a lot of people.
Yeah.
And just talk to them
Yep.
about everything and things that you don't normally hear, or even things that you don't see on social media, because again, it's not fun. It's not fun to talk about.
Right.
But I did it because I wanted it to be a way for people to relate and not feel alone.
Yeah.
And I started out just doing it as me, as a cancer dad, which you don't really see a lot
Right.
of us out in the forefront. You see the moms that are out there.
Sure. That's true. That's a really good point. More support for the dads as well. I completely can see that. The other thing, like you said, I think is because it's not a fun topic, obviously, it's a very hard and sad topic. A lot of people just don't want to talk about it, right? And so it's one of those things where until it happens to you and then you
Right.
find your community. But it's tough because it's like, yeah, you do feel really, I think there's probably a lot of moments, especially at first, you feel very alone,
Yeah.
right? Like, why is this happening? Well, I mean, of course, everybody's gonna, we're human.
Right.
Everybody's gonna say, why is this happening to us? Not that you want it to happen to anybody else, but you're always gonna question that, I think, as a human. But also, you just feel like it's not happening to anybody else. But like you said, it is,
Yep.
right? And so bringing that awareness to it and having like a sense of community for people when they do go through something like this, I think is huge.
Yeah, like when we were first diagnosed, we were on an island all of our own. Like, we knew nobody else that had been affected by it. So we were constantly struggling, like, well, where do we fit in? Because it was also during COVID times, so everything was shut down.
Yes.
And it's like,
Ugh.
we want to be out and we want to be social and we want to get to know people and do things. And at the same time, it's like, we can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was diagnosed January 30th of 2020. So our oldest daughter's birthday.
my
And we were
gosh.
actually in the hospital, and I remember reading the articles about COVID, thinking, oh, well, okay, well, it's not here yet. And then, by the time we were back for treatment in March to start radiation, that was it. It was one parent and one child, and that was it. And we couldn't be together. So essentially all of her treatment, aside from, I think, maybe one surgery after that, was just one of us without the whole family. And so that's another big thing, is we really try to, make it a space. Like I'll say, like, my phone, I've got more phone numbers than I know what to do with, because my phone number's public, so anybody can find it, because I want to be that person that we didn't have. And if you just want to call and rant, sometimes that's all we need to do.
Sure.
It's just rant and yell and scream, but also feel like who we're talking to knows how we feel. Because, all too often you're out and about and people say, well, I understand because some other family member had cancer, or and even an animal, like we've gotten that before. And yes, that's terrible.
It is,
but
right,
a
but it's
kid
not.
is so different.
Yeah.
And I think that's our biggest thing, is we just want people to understand that kids and adults are different. There's a kids and adults drug aisle at Walmart, right? It's not, why would they separate them if
Correct.
they were all the same? And that's the biggest thing. Well, there's enough this and there's enough that for research. No, there's not. And
Right.
that's why we have to do this. And when they find new studies, we find it very, very bittersweet. It's actually really hard for us to listen to it, because then we're thinking, why couldn't it happen sooner?
Why couldn't it have happened? Exactly. Yeah, that's, I can't, well, the saying, you're not supposed to have to bury your child,
Yeah.
right? I mean, I can't imagine. I really can't imagine. I can empathize, but I cannot actually physically imagine. The fact that you guys are doing what you're doing, that you're getting up every day, that's huge.
Because of our other kids.
Yeah.
It's responsibilities.
Yeah.
That's honestly what it is.
Yeah. Isn't that interesting too, how kids, like, when you have, other kids still to take care of, right? It's like you just, I don't know, it makes you kind of keep going, right?
100%.
Like this year, honestly, I was just saying to them at the office yesterday, I'm like, I don't really feel like putting up a Christmas tree this year. I'm just really not in that Christmassy spirit. And again, we lost our grandma this year, and I was very, very, very close with her, and so that's just been a lot, and again, it's not a kid. It's completely different. She was 86 years old. She lived a fantastic life. But it's still like, it still hurts.
It
It's
still
still
affects
a lot. And I'm just like, I don't want to put up a tree. I don't want to do all this stuff. But then I'm like, but I'm going to because my kids,
Yeah.
right? Because the kids still need, I think it really does push you to keep going. So thank God for that.
Yeah.
Right?
If it wasn't for my kids, I would be in bed constantly.
Yeah. I don't blame you. Same.
Yeah.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah, and we saw it from our mom when we were younger. So we actually had a younger sister that died when I was 5, when Kelly was 17.
We did. Yes.
It wasn't cancer related, but
No, she had a very,
she was-
very severe heart issue.
yeah, she was like 6 months old, and this past week was 27 years, and our mom is still, it still breaks her heart all the time.
Yeah.
It's kind of one of those things. But she was like, I had other kids, I had to keep doing other stuff, and
That's true.
that was my life.
That is very true. Yeah.
I think that it gets harder every year when you lose a child, and it's because you have other kids. Because for me anyway, I see my other 2 accomplishing things, whether it's driving, boyfriends, going to college, all of that JC will never do, and that's what makes it hard for me. So
Right.
I watch them do things, and I'm like, 99% I'm on board, and that other 1% is breaking because I remember going to when our oldest was in high school, I think her freshman year, and she was singing in the choir for graduation. And I had to go, and JC couldn't come because she was sick, and so Trish stayed home with her. And I remember sitting in the front bleachers, and I was like a puddle because I was like, JC's never going to do this. At that point, I knew.
Yeah.
And, had to come to terms with that. And no parent should ever have to bury their child. No parent should ever have to make the decisions like, so many people in our community have to make. No parent should have to sign a DNR for their child because you know what that means. And that's our, we have to fix it. And, some way, somehow, we're going to come up with something that makes a difference that will stop this from continuing to get worse.
Well, I think you guys are making a huge difference already. I really do. And I think that you carrying it, continuing to do it, even in those moments where you're like, ugh, the frustrating times, because obviously everybody has those for everything, but keep going. Because obviously what you're doing is making a huge difference and just raising the awareness about, like you said, it gets this label of rare. And so then, people are like, oh, well, that's rare. Let's put that over on the side. And it's like, well, but no child should have to die. Right. No child, no matter what. Right? I mean, that just shouldn't be a thing.
Yeah.
Right.
So I am thankful for you guys and what you're doing and for learning more about you. How did the name form?
We were watching, like when Jace had just gotten diagnosed and we found out that she was going to have to go through all the radiation, the chemo, that kind of stuff. We were watching cooking shows.
Okay.
And a Food Network, and Duff Goldman.
Okay.
It was a cake show. I don't remember what it was about, but he was making a unicorn cake, and Jace loves unicorns.
Sure.
And this unicorn cake that he was making, it was shooting fire and all that kind of stuff. And he's like, it's a Battlecorn. Like it's a unicorn going off to battle.
Sure.
And,
I love that.
And Jace is like, oh, I like that. So we're gonna do Battlecorn because she knew she had the biggest fight of her life ahead of her.
That is
that's so cool.
So cool. I'm glad I asked you that question because it's like
it's
Battlecorn care packages,
It's
like
a very odd name and like Battlecorn.
well, it's just you're going through your everyday life. You're like Battlecorn care packages, cool. But to actually know, that's so
it's
cool.
a unicorn going to battle.
I love that.
We've had no luck getting in contact with Duff Goldman either.
Well, gosh darn it. You need Duff Goldman. We want Charlie Barons. Can anybody just pay attention? No, that's really, really cool. I love that, you guys. So obviously going into 2026, any big goals? You said you're doing the gala in Texas, right? To try to
Everything's bigger in
kind
Texas.
of, that's true. That's
what we've heard.
Yeah,
We're hoping
collaborate.
We're hoping for bigger and
raise
better.
raise more funds,
Yeah.
and then those funds go back into well, what you're doing and research as well,
It
right?
will be research.
Okay.
Yeah. Like none of the other nonprofits that we're joining with will keep any of it for themselves.
Sure.
It's all same like-minded missions. It'll go to research or
That's
funding
amazing.
clinical trials or something.
That's amazing. Any like, you know, future goals that you guys have
To go out of business
because of, well, right, because there is no,
because
yeah,
they're
there is
hoping
no
there would be a
cancer.
cure.
Yes,
so.
there's a cure. Yes.
Yeah, really, honestly, like I think, you know, we have like kind of a strategic plan of what we need to do and how we move forward. You know, when changing the name this year and creating, you know, Battlecorn Global as a way to really kind of encompass the global community and, you know, try to partner with more organizations that are like us to help us push through what mission we have. But honestly, we just want to do this, or we just don't want to do it anymore because we've figured out what we've been trying so hard to do. And that comes with us funding. You know, we sent $25,000 to the National Pediatric Cancer Foundation. We
That's
sent
amazing.
$25,000 to the Pediatric Brain Tumor Foundation. We last year or 2 years ago, we sent $25,000 to Onco Heroes, which rescues orphan drugs that the pharmaceutical companies have abandoned because they're no longer profitable for them, but they show encouraging things in pediatric cancers. So we funded a clinical trial through them last year that they're working through now. You know, this is, you know, and, you know, we were able to have our daughter's brain tissue sent off to a company called Gift from a Child that works close with like CHOP in Philadelphia to have her tissue. And it's also been sent to NYT in New York to a doctor out there that is studying her type of cancer. And so our goal is just to ensure that whatever we do, and she's immersed in all of it, you know, we have something else that I've been working on for 2 years, and I'm hoping that soon enough I'll be able to say it's done, it's created, it's happened, because it means that the opportunities will come. And I think that in this state, you know, I didn't grow up here, but I think we have some of the brightest minds and the brightest researchers and scientists here, and I think that they're just right on the edge of something happening, and
Sure.
they just need that small push.
Sure.
So our biggest goal would be to go out of business, absolutely.
Yeah.
But we are really trying to create something where it will allow all of those types of tissue samples to come together and be in one location for all of the amazing minds that we have just in this state alone, but hopefully something that we can create as a blueprint that
Sure.
other states can use, because I don't need credit for an idea. I just need something to happen for our kids. And again, we never want any parents to ever feel how we feel. We just want people to understand that we're here.
Right.
And
Right.
and just because things bad happen to us, yes, we are broken, but we're the same people that we were. We just had a horrible thing happen. And the worst thing, as advice, the worst thing you can do is don't say anything at all.
Yeah.
I'd rather you say the wrong thing and let us correct you than not say anything at all.
That's a really good point. That's a really good point. And we've had, again, several losses in our family over the years. And I think the other thing that always makes me crazy is when people say, well, and like you said, it's better to say something than nothing at all. But the other thing that always makes me nuts is when people say, let us know if there's anything you need. And it's like, well,
I need a million things.
yeah, I need so many things and I don't even know how to, right? I always just find like, for example, we have a past client that we've worked with several times that unfortunately got diagnosed with breast cancer this year. And I absolutely adore her. And the minute that I found out, I just got on the phone and hired a cleaning lady for her, you know, because I knew I couldn't do it. I mean, I could, but I don't have enough time to do it myself. So I was like, I'm going to do, but I like, find something, right? Find something that you can do or a way to get involved in some way. I think instead of just saying, let me know, because even if you do truly mean that, I mean, there's people that do truly mean like, let me know what you need, right? But most people aren't going to ask.
Right.
Most people just aren't going to ask.
100%. Like, I mean, there was times I had laundry piled up to the ceiling, dishes touching the the roof.
Right.
And I would never ask somebody,
Right.
oh, come wash my.
But you're struggling.
Right. Come wash my dishes. Like,
exactly.
I'm not gonna do it.
Yep.
So.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry for your loss, but I love what you guys are doing to try to help other families, brighten kids' days
Yeah.
when they are going through this, and hopefully, like you said, eventually put an end to it and there's a cure. What do you think is like one thing that you want to share about JC, like her, something about her that you just absolutely love and you want to make sure that always like stays alive?
She never lost her sense of humor. Never once. She always found a way to make the best out of a bad situation.
Very theatrical.
Oh yeah, and
I love that.
Yeah.
oh,
I love
yeah.
it.
But on her own terms.
Sure,
On her
sure,
own
sure,
terms.
sure.
She would, when we were in the hospital, when she would go through the first 2 rounds of chemo, she had one drug that was given to her that put her in a very, very, like put her in a locked in the box situation. So for 12 hours, she was completely like a vegetable, couldn't do anything. After 12 hours, it was almost like a switch would flip and she would wake up and have no memory of it. But she would like to, when I would have to sleep in that horrible bed, on the side.
Sure.
And she would wake up and she would slap the bed really hard and go, boo. That was just her.
I love that.
That's
awesome.
We're in there and I just watched 12 hours of the worst thing of my
Right,
life.
right,
and
right,
you
right.
wake up and
Right, and
it's
say,
it's
boo.
joking time.
Oh my God.
That was her.
Sure.
It was just that she would make the best of any kind of situation, because she also, like a lot of these kids, she would not let what she was going through define who she was. Yes, were we labeled, and we still are labeled, that family that lost their daughter, that family whose daughter had cancer. Of course we are. But she never let that stop her from what she was doing.
Sure.
I'll be the first one to tell you, and hopefully nobody comes for me. But yeah, she was diagnosed in 2020, and in March the world shut down, right? And all of our girls had best friends that were the next door neighbors. Jace would go to radiation, come home, and they'd go next door and play. We weren't supposed to, right? We were all supposed to stay inside, but they needed to be kids.
Yeah.
And she especially needed that normalcy in her life. And we were very careful with being clean and stuff like
right.
that, but she needed that.
Yep.
And then it got to the point where they would even every single night at 7:00, the houses are close enough together. They had the string and they would, they would
Yep.
send over one sheet of toilet paper.
That's awesome.
It was the way that
Just making a bad situation a little bit better.
yeah,
Right.
that was the way she was, and her sisters were also just key in everything.
Sure.
They were unstoppable and you couldn't separate them for anything, and they protected Jace at all costs. And it was as big a loss for them as it was for us. And yeah, but just that's her.
Sure.
And
Well,
in a
again,
nutshell.
I think, like you said, the quality of life, right, of time, and it's quality over quantity. I mean, of course, we all that are left behind want like 100+ years with somebody,
Right.
right? And again, nobody should have to lose a child, but the quality, the fact that she made the best out of every situation, I think is that's really cool. That's really, really cool. Okay, so again, it's Battlecorn. Tell us your website again.
Battlecornglobal.org.
Battlecornglobal.org. All right, so everybody can go on there. Like you said, there's Christmas, right? Christmas is coming, so there's lists for that. People can help with any of that. Okay, awesome. I hope that a lot more people get involved. I think this is just an awesome mission that you guys are on. So, and we will help and support any way that we can as well. So,
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
and again, I'm very sorry for your loss. It's
Thank you.
something that nobody should ever have to go through. But I really appreciate everything that you guys are doing, and that you're, making, I don't want to say making the best out of, because that's not even, but it just doing something with the situation,
Yeah.
Right.
that you were in.
We
And
turn tragedy into purpose.
yes, I
And
like that.
that's kind of what it is. It's every day. I think there's two kinds of people in this community, our pediatric cancer community, and one is that when something like this happens, when you lose a child, they either Homer Simpson into the bushes and they don't ever want to talk about it again.
Yep.
Or there's like us and we just want to be scorched earth to make a difference.
Sure.
And neither one is right or wrong, but that's kind of where
Sure.
you know,
Everybody lies in one
Yeah.
camp or the other. Yeah. I think, and like you said, it's so important that we do talk about it, even though it's not something that anybody wants to talk about, it needs to be talked about because that's the only way that you raise awareness and get to that cure, right? Awesome. Well, keep going, you guys. I think you're doing amazing things.
Thank you.
So thank you so much, and thank you for being here and sharing that message and JC's legacy as well. That's really awesome. So, all right. Well, now I'm going to totally flip a switch. We said we liked humor, right? Okay. So I was telling you guys earlier that our current mission is to get Charlie Barron's on the podcast at some point. And I was shopping. This all just happened because I was shopping one weekend in this cute little town in this cute little bookstore. And I came across this book Charlie Barron's wrote. And it's just all this fun little stuff, right? And so every week we've been talking about something. And just all sorts of, little funny things. The family lake house, this area in the Midwest, right? Everybody seems to have one of those.
The history of ranch.
The history of ranch dressing. That was another week. Yes, that was another week because that's very important to this area. Last week, didn't we talk about condiments on hot dogs? Depending on where you live in the
think so.
Midwest. I think
Yeah,
that
I
was
think that
last
was
week's
last week.
episode. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
if you're in Chicago, you're going to have ketchup
Chicago
is like,
style, yeah.
oh boy, you can't have. And I lived in Chicago for a while, and I just remember like ordering a hot dog, and I'm like, and ketchup, and people are like, what?
There it is.
What?
I always have to wait to see when Kelly's going to mention Chicago.
Oh, Chicago. No, I loved Chicago, but I was always like, what? You don't put ketchup on a hot? That is weird. Okay, so this week we're talking about the 5 best, which means most Midwest. So these aren't really like the best in any academic sense. Okay, this is just Charlie Barron saying the 5 best, meaning most Midwest colleges. So he says, take this one with a grain of Thirsty Thursday margarita salt. Feel free to cross out the ones you disagree with and write in your own. But here are 5 representatives who capture life in the Midwest. So number 1, I think we could all guess this, UW-Madison. He says, all right, I'm biased. UW is my alma mater. Oh, so he went there. I didn't even know. See, we're learning
know this?
so much about Charlie Barron's. He says, I think I have some solid ground to stand on, as long as it's not between the third and fourth quarters during the Badger game. That's when Camp Randall explodes into the jump around, causing seismic activity that's been registered on the Richter scale at the UW Geology Department nearly 2 miles away. UW-Madison knows how to party. Just ask anyone who lived on Mifflin Street. Actually, never mind. They won't remember. Okay, so then ask the police who arrested them. But it's not just sports and parties. A diploma from UW is one of the most respected in the nation, especially if I'm one of the people judging diplomas, he says. Then there's the city of Madison itself, which is nestled on an isthmus.
It is an isthmus.
How do you say that? Isthmus?
An isthmus.
Okay, I obviously didn't go to UW-Madison. I'll spare you the time of Googling that definition. He says it's a narrow strip of land with sea on either side, forming a link between 2 larger areas of land. Who knew? I didn't know. Did you?
Yes.
Okay, well, see, again, this is where he paid attention in school. I didn't. I was too focused on what was happening on Friday night after the football game or whatever. Anyways, UW-Madison is apparently, in Charlie's opinion, one of the top 5 in the Midwest, okay? And then we have Ohio State University. He says,
Interesting.
not to be confused in any way with Ohio State and Columbus. Ohio State's lawyers required me to say this. Ohio University is in lovely Athens, Ohio, which is more than an hour from everything. The next closest town of note is some 40 miles and in the hills of West Virginia. What's that tell you? And what do 30,000 college students with nothing to do all day and night do? Well, not since Lot's wife turned into salt has that answer played out more thoroughly. Whatever your Hollywood notions of a wild college party are, double them. Numberfest and Caligula may be things of the past, but their spirit lives in Athens forever. OU also offers uncredited PhDs in cornhole. Not what you think. It says, see page 149. Okay, well, we'll get to that. Partying and getting degrees. He says, I don't know, marketing, I guess. So basically, Ohio University is definitely a party
Interesting.
school. Who knew? University of Notre Dame. I mean, that one's kind of a given, right? That's where I always wanted to go.
Yeah.
Growing up, my whole room was decorated in Notre Dame colors, and I had the Notre Dame pennants on my wall. And oh yeah, I wanted to go there bad, 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 bad. He says there are a lot of Catholics in the heartland, and every one of them still has the dream that one of their kids will have the smarts or sport skills to get into the best Catholic university on the planet. Where else can you find a world-class education and a 134-foot mural of the Savior signaling another touchdown? And there's a movie.
Oh, Jesus.
You know, Rudy.
That is one of the movies. Yep.
I mean, okay. Next is Carleton College in Minnesota. That's not one
Okay.
that I've heard of. Have you guys heard of that?
I haven't.
Either. The Midwest is most known for its huge state universities, but also has enough small and venerated private colleges to keep things interesting. Carleton is just 2,000 students. That's small. Consistently appears near the top of any college list. The college graduated its first class in 1874. Two Minnesotans, James Dow and Myra Brown, who married each other on Christmas Day later that same year. Who knew? The school now has 33 different majors and 31 minors to choose from. So Carleton College in Minnesota. And then the last one is called Hamburger University in Illinois.
Oh, that's
Have you
fun.
heard of that?
No, I've not
No,
heard of
I haven't
Hamburger.
heard of that either. More selective than Harvard. He says, yeah, seriously. Hamburger University, HU, provides various degrees and curricula in restaurant management for the, I mean, at least, that makes sense. For those seeking managerial duties within the McDonald's Corporation.
Okay, I was going to ask if that had something to do with McDonald's.
What? The school has more than 275,000 graduates who took more than 2,000 hours of classes, which are transferable and about halfway to an associate's degree.
Okay.
Wait, what? So you go there? I'm going to have to look
So
into
the
this
McDonald's
more.
franchise started, in northern Illinois.
Okay.
So it would make sense that Illinois would be the home to
Have the
McDonald's.
Hamburger University.
Yeah.
More selective than Harvard. Hamburger University
suppose.
provides various degrees and curricula in restaurant management for those seeking managerial. So it's just if you want to be in the McDonald's Corporation?
I think so.
Wow. I didn't know that it was that
That's kinda
serious. Did you? I had no idea.
Well, it's sort of like how there's that Barnum and Bailey's Clown College where they only take like 10 applicants a year, so
Sure.
they get like 1,000 applications, but they only
Right.
take in like 10 of
I
us.
am
They're
definitely
super
going to have
selective.
to. I feel like I have to look into this further now because that is. Look, I'm going to mark my page because I got to get back to that, and I'll report back what I find out on next week's podcast
Yeah.
about Hamburger University.
Yeah, and maybe when Charlie is here, he'll clarify some of that for us.
Charlie, if you could just come on our podcast and clarify everything for us, we would really appreciate it. Yes. All right. Well, that was kind of interesting, huh?
Yeah.
I want to learn more about Hamburger University. It's also making me really hungry. Shall we talk about what's happening this weekend
Let's
in the 920?
do it.
All right, let's do it.
Let's see what's happening this weekend in the 920.
Cool.
You starting?
I think I'm going first then.
All right, let's do it.
So we've got Finish the Lyrics Trivia Live Holiday Edition, Friday from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. at Green's Pour House.
Starting early on a Friday.
Yeah, that's 124 West Wisconsin Avenue. Appleton?
It's in Neenah.
I thought that was in Neenah.
Green's
Yeah.
Poorhouse is definitely in Neenah.
Yeah. Skip the holiday stress and join the fun. It's time to grab your friends and family, form your festive dream team, and compete in Finish the Lyrics Holiday Edition. This isn't your average trivia. It's part karaoke, part dance party, and all-out holiday chaos. What to expect? Finish the lyric trivia set to holiday classics. Teams of up to 6 battling it out for $500+ in local prizes.
Nice.
A giant music video wall brings the songs to life, singing your answers out loud with the crowd. Bonus prize for the most festively dressed team. Fuel up for the fun. Green's full food menu is available downstairs before or after the show. A portion of proceeds, future Nina. So you're going back while you sing your heart out.
Giving back.
Giving back.
Giving back.
Yeah.
That's okay.
My brain had
Start
a.
today.
Whew. I'm still stuck on a portion of proceeds, future Nina.
A portion of the proceeds is benefiting future Nina. That's
Yeah,
really
there's a
what we're
word
getting
missing
at.
there.
Yes. So you're giving back while you sing your heart out.
Okay.
So
it sounds fun.
yeah, doesn't it? And the admission is $20.
Cool.
And the link to it will be on our newsletter. So every week we share a newsletter. All of your information will be on there about Battlecorn. And then our weekend events are on there so people can sign up. But I think this is great. And I also love that it's from 2 to 4 on Friday, because why not just, really get started?
And then you can get done right around sunset.
Yeah,
4 p.m.
Exactly. Get home, get to bed. All right. Well, you know what? We're carrying on with Drinks with the Grinch.
Ooh, so this takes place just after.
Yeah, very festive. This is on Friday from 5 to 8. You can go to Finish the Lyrics Trivia, and then you can go to Drinks with the
Just
Grinch.
make a whole day of it.
Yeah. So this is Friday from 5 to 8 at Lumberjack Johnny's Entertainment in Appleton. This is 2701 North Oneida Street in Appleton. He's green, he's grouchy, and he's making a holiday comeback. Join us for a mischievously merry evening at Drinks with the Grinch, a fun event filled with laughter, photos, and festive cheer. You're going to get your picture with the Grinch, okay? There's a holiday toy drive. Bring a new unwrapped toy to help spread joy to the local kids in need.
Cool.
Seasonal drinks and treats. Drink specials for the grown-ups and festive mocktails for the sober and the little who's. Holiday music, games, and fun. So that's exciting. So come see the Grinch, and it's free. Just bring your toy donation. So that's this Friday from 5 to 8 at Lumberjack Johnny's.
Cool.
What do you got?
I have the Rudolph Run/Walk. This is Saturday, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. It
I'd be
starts
walking.
at the Neenah Public Library, 240 East Wisconsin Avenue, Neenah. The Neenah Menasha Firefighters Charitable Foundation is excited to welcome back Rudolph and his fellow reindeer to downtown Neenah on Friday, November 29th for a festive and family-friendly celebration. This free community event begins at the Neenah Public Library and travels along the downtown sidewalks, concluding at Gateway Plaza. The fun kicks off at 5 p.m. with Rudolph, true to form, leading the way for the run/walk. Families and friends of all ages are invited to stroll through the magical holiday sites that make downtown Neenah shine this season.
Downtown Neenah is, let's just give them some credit for a minute. It is really cool.
Yeah, it's
and I
very
did
cute.
see that now the alley that they had decorated for Halloween.
Yeah.
Now they have it, I think they're calling it like Candy Cane Lane or something, and it's all decorated for Christmas. It's really
fun.
cool. Yeah. Downtown Neenah does a great job.
Let's see. Adding to the excitement, the Neenah Menasha Firefighters Charitable Foundation will escort participants with their Santa float, spreading Christmas cheer and festive music along the route. Keep your eyes peeled. Santa himself may even make a special appearance.
Very cool.
At the conclusion of the event, participants will have the unique opportunity to get an up-close look at the Santa float, which will be parked for viewing at Gateway Plaza rather than just passing by your home as it spreads cheer throughout the season. To top off the event, guests can enjoy a cookie, a warm cup of hot chocolate, or toast up a delicious s'more thanks to Globe for providing the s'mores. Admission is free.
And it's free again. I love that. And obviously, let's not forget that it's also Thanksgiving this week.
Yes. So we got Black Friday coming up.
Exactly. Are you gonna go shopping?
Yeah.
What are you gonna get?
I don't know.
Oh. Do you guys do Black Friday?
We do.
You
well,
do?
I do. I mean,
Do you get up early and go?
Yeah, I used to. I grew up Black Friday shopping.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
But isn't it? I feel like it has changed,
Yeah,
right?
COVID changed.
Yeah,
it.
but it used to
Right.
be you got up and you went and you were dedicated.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you were there at 4 a.m. with your hockey pads on.
Yeah.
You were going to get
You
in
were
that
ready.
door.
Yes, you're gonna get those deals, those specials.
Yeah.
I know. Trust me. I remember feeling exhausted by 4 p.m. because it was you
Yeah.
already put in a full
Yeah.
day. Yes, absolutely. Well, good luck to all the shoppers, right? And all the hunters and everybody else.
Yeah.
So we have one more, and this is Christmas at the Pond, and we will actually be at this event.
Yay.
So Christmas at the Pond is this Sunday from 5 to 7 at Memorial Park in Kimberly. That always throws me off because obviously there's a Memorial Park in Appleton, but this
And
is
in Neenah, and the
right.
combined
This is
locks.
Memorial Park in Kimberly, 311 East Kimberly Ave. So it's the annual community lighting. It is a pretty darn big event. I would say we did it last year too. Probably over, 10,000 plus people came
freezing
through.
this,
It's
yeah.
huge. It's cold. Yeah, it's cold, but that's okay. So 4:55 p.m. starts out with Monty's Secret Theater. Starts the night off with magic. He does a disappearing Christmas light show and counts down to the park lighting exactly at 5 o'clock. And then the evening starts with the park lighting and the caroling from the Kimberly High School Chamber Choir, 5:15, Santa arrives on the Kimberly fire truck, and he'll sit in the gazebo for photo opportunities and to share. So you get to share what your Christmas wishes are. Throughout the night, vendors, sponsors, and volunteers surround the pond with treats, cheer, and holiday goodies. Are we talking about what we're giving away? Come visit us at our big pink Kelly Davies Homes tent.
Yeah.
We are giving away
We're gonna have hand warmers.
and
glow sticks?
we've got cute little glow sticks. So, but I felt like the hand warmers was a fun thing to throw in this year because it's cold.
It was
It's
chill
cold.
last
Yeah.
year.
So we're going to be giving those away. So if you want to get warm, come get our hand warmers and say hello to us. But there'll be the Kimberly Key Club. Giving Tree will be at the event for anyone interested in supporting children in the Kimberly Area School District that need a little extra help this holiday season. They're also going to have their Magic Santa North Pole mailbox in the park the night of the lighting. And then they relocate the mailbox to Kimberly Municipal Complex after the event if your child wants to receive a real letter from the North Pole. So they can bring it
cool.
to the event, or afterwards they can go to the Kimberly Municipal Complex and drop it off in the mailbox there. So there's a lot happening. I think this weekend is just going to be great.
Yeah.
And we all have
Sounds
a lot.
like Santa's got a busy slate this weekend.
Santa's got a lot happening this weekend.
Yeah.
But we all have a lot to be thankful for, right? So thank you guys again so much,
Yeah,
Curtis
thank
and
you.
Trish, for being here with us and sharing all about JC's legacy and Battlecorn and everything. And we're really, really grateful to learn more about this and be able to help out now in the future. And that's one of the things I love about doing this podcast is I learn things and then we're like, all right, now we know those people and we're going to be able to help out. And I love that. So very,
thank
very
you.
cool. All right. Well, we just hope that everybody has a wonderful Thanksgiving weekend.
Drive safe.
And yes, if you're traveling, drive safe, fly safe. And we'll see you all next week.
Thank you for listening to our podcast. To contact the Kelly Davies Homes team for all of your buying and selling needs, call 920-791-9047. Find us on Facebook at the Kelly Davies Homes team or go to kellydavieshomes.com.